Today I will unbox and assemble my new treadmill. I have never been into sports and I'm surprised that I couldn't find any info about most treadmills I saw online. Am I the only introvert who doesn't want to go to the gym, or probably nobody buys these treadmills? I don't know the answer to this question, but if you do, I'd like to hear it. Let's see what I have ordered. The first thing inside the box is a plastic bag with the manuals and some bolts. It's best to have a second person to help you lift the treadmill because it is heavy. I'm happy that I managed to take it out myself. The last thing in the box is the computer that is mounted to the handles. We will get to it later. I will move everything aside, then I will start to assemble the treadmill. This is what there is in the plastic bag. First, we can find the manual and instructions for connecting the treadmill with the Swift app. Next, we have a bottle with some oil. We can also find a metal wrench, a smaller plastic bag with the safety key and the bolts for assembling the parts. Let's organize the parts. It's always easier when you sort them first. Now remove the plastic bag from the treadmill. You need the two longest bolts, the split washers, and the two of the short bolts. Insert the split washer into the long bolt. Raise the handle and insert the long bolt on the side. Take a short bolt and put it as shown in the video. Don't tighten the bolts all the way at this step. Now we have to do the same on the other side. Remember not to tighten the bolts all the way. Now I have to remove the protective covers of the handles. Be careful because the cable for the computer is coming out of one of the handles. Next, I have to take out the computer from the plastic bag and remove the protective covers from the handles. The computer is very light and it can easily be held in one hand. Here you can see the cable that needs to be connected to the one that is coming out of the handle. To mount the computer, we need the rest of the bolts. The lock nut marked as S9 on the left is actually S11 on the right chart. Also, the end caps have already been installed. First, I have to connect the cable. You can't make a mistake because it can only be connected if oriented correctly. I didn't have anyone to help me, so I managed to connect it on my own. When you connect both halves, you should hear a clicking sound to make sure it is securely connected. After the cable is connected, you have to push it inside of the handle and place the computer on top. You have to carefully align it on both sides, and this is why you shouldn't tighten the screws at the bottom all the way. Now you can see how I'm aligning the computer from a different angle. When it is aligned, it will stay in place. The short bolt goes on the back side. Don't tighten it all the way. The long bolt goes on the side. You may need to wiggle it a bit to insert it. Then tighten the lock nut, but not all the way. Now you can see it from a different angle. The short bolt goes into the back hole. And the long one goes on the side. Make sure both side bolts are inserted in such a way that both locking nuts are towards the inside. At this point you can start tightening all of the bolts. Start by tightening the bottom ones first, then tighten the ones on the top. Your support means a lot, so I would appreciate if you take a minute to like the video and leave me a comment below. Use the wrench to keep the lock nut in place while tightening the side bolts on top. Now let's remove the plastic bag from the power cord. Everything is assembled already and we can try the treadmill. Take the safe key and place it as shown in the video. The treadmill won't work without the safe key. You have to clip it to the belt of your pants, and if you fall, the treadmill will stop right away. Now you can see how the treadmill folds. To fold it, you just need to lift the lower part. It has two wheels, and when you fold it, you can easily move it back and forth. To use the treadmill again, push the yellow plastic part of the gas lift and it will slowly fall down. This is the process in real time. This treadmill has 4 settings of the incline that you have to adjust manually. To do that, pull out the locking pin and insert it into one of the other holes. You need to make the adjustments on both sides of the treadmill. According to the manual, I have to lubricate the treadmill when it is dry under the belt. I checked under the belt and the surface is very dry, so I think I have to lubricate it before the first use. According to the manual, you don't need to loosen the belt, but just lift the sides and squeeze your hand in to put the lubrication gel in the middle. The task was very difficult for me to do. I discovered an easier method, but I can't recommend it for you to use. What I did was turn the treadmill on its side. Then I was able to lift the belt a little and squeeze the lubrication gel exactly in the middle of the belt. I put some on the sides as well. After the lubrication gel is applied, you have to turn on the treadmill and leave it for 3 to 5 minutes to allow the gel to spread out evenly. When you press the start button, the belt will start moving at 1 km/h. I checked under the belt several times and I had to squeeze the entire gel bottle to lubricate it properly. Note that if there is excess gel on the sides of the belt, you have to wipe it off. When the treadmill was folded, I saw this strange red thing. It's a plastic tube that goes to the center of the treadmill, and I think it is meant to have an oil container attached to it for automatic lubrication. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any information about it. It would be very nice if I could buy something that can lubricate the belt automatically. Before using the treadmill for the first time, I noticed that the belt wasn't aligned properly, so I had to adjust it. To do that, first turn on the treadmill. As soon as the belt starts moving, adjust the speed to 8 km per hour. The belt is a bit to the left, so take the tool that comes with the treadmill and tighten the left screw. Rotate the bolt with 1/4 turn at a time and wait to see if the belt will correct itself. If not, continue tightening the bolt. As you can see now, the belt is exactly in the middle. Now you can stop the treadmill and it should be ready for use. But let's see the buttons on the screen and the functions of the treadmill. When you switch it on, the screen will light up and you will hear a beep. Make sure you have the safe key placed because you won't be able to start the treadmill. If you look at the bottom right corner of the display, you will see the pulse meter. In order for the treadmill to measure your pulse, you have to hold both handles. If your hands are not on the handles, there will be a 0 on the display. The buttons 3, 5, 7 and 10 are presets for fast changing the speed. By pressing the black button, you can choose if the display will show your pulse or the burned calories. From the minus and the plus buttons, you can change the speed by small increments. By pressing the P button, you can start one of the 12 built-in programs. There is no information about them in the manual, but I assume they are arranged by difficulty. If you select one of the built-in programs, you can use the plus and the minus buttons to increase or decrease the training time. To start the program, you have to press the Start button. Let's return to the main screen. By pressing the M button, you can manually select the time of your training, or by pressing it once more, you can select the distance you want to walk or run. You can't set how many calories to burn for one workout. You can keep track of the burnt ones on the screen and stop when you have reached your goal. The easiest way to turn on the treadmill is by simply pressing the Start button. A 3-second countdown will begin, after which the treadmill will start at its lowest speed. Here you can see how to slowly increase the speed by pressing the plus button. If you press one of the preset buttons, the treadmill will adjust to that speed. Don't forget to lower the speed every time before jumping off the treadmill. At the end of each run, put the treadmill to its lowest speed and walk for 1 to 2 minutes. Otherwise, you may get dizzy and fall down. If you fall down, you will pull the safety key and the treadmill will stop immediately. When you put it back, the treadmill won't start until you press the Start button again. Now you can see the specifications of the treadmill. Pause the video now if you need more time to read them. I'm going to do my very first run and I'm very excited. You can see that my pulse is increasing even without any activity. I think my heart is going to burst. Have a nice day and see you next time!